are you doing? I'm going to give y'all a few minutes to get up in here. I'm only on for a few minutes. I was on earlier today and I was talking about taking your younger self shopping. And one thing I want to say before I get started is I'm showing up live because I want to practice. And I want to encourage you to do the same, whether you go live on YouTube, whether you do it with your phone and videotape yourself speaking, having a conversation so that you can kind of monitor yourself. I know sometimes I know I used to do that. I used to practice with the recording and I would see that I spoke too fast or just I would just whatever it was, I could evaluate how I was communicating because sometimes you don't realize high pitched voice. I would tend a lot of times because I was very anxiety ridden and afraid, of people and insecure. So I spent a lot of time speaking with a high pitched voice or giggling too much. So I do that. I'm doing this to practice. I am now getting on here a lot more lives because I want to practice my tonation. I want to practice, my thoughts, putting my thoughts together. So thank you for coming and thank you for joining me. So what I wanted to get on right now today is I wanted to talk about decluttering our minds because, oh my God, there's just so much out there. There's a lot out there. And I think that I always say this even to my sons and to my husband and to myself. If my space is cluttered, I can tell I'm stressing about something. Either I'm stressing or I'm overwhelmed, and it shows in my space. So I think that one of the ways to declutter our minds and well, first, let me go back to this. I want to mention something about this first. Um, a lot of times, our mind is cluttered with what other people have put on us. And so I think that it's important that we learn to determine what's my thoughts and what are thoughts and things that other people, society, parents, whoever, bullies, anybody have put on me. So I think we need to learn because sometimes we let other people's problems, other people's shit clutter our own lives when they don't need to. That's not your clutter is not my clutter. Unless it's somebody that I love, I'm gonna take on the clutter that I want to take on, but I'm not gonna take on other people's clutter that does not belong to me. So that's why I thought, let me talk about decluttering. And that's another way of letting life love you, is learning to clear this space because a lot of times we can't let life love us because what's up in here? Because of the clutter, the junk that other people put up in here, the junk that we're taking in on TV and taking in from social media. So I'm not going to be on here long. And this is a communication. This is a conversation. I want to conversate with you. So please feel free to share with me. But I want to just share maybe about three things because I just think that it's important that we are more intentional. May I see your hand? No, you may not. Can you please give me a shout out? Of course I can. Shout out to Daisy Herrera. Girl, you are amazing. Do you know that? Has anybody told you today how amazing you are? Thank you for being here. I personally appreciate you. So, Valentina, is that your name, Valentina? Okay, Valentina, I'm giving you a shout out. Tell me if that's your name. Okay. Anyway, but I wanted to get on and just say a few ways that we can declutter our mind. And one of the ways I find is wait, so your name is Valentina. That is beautiful. I love that name, Valentina. Hi, Valentina. You are appreciated, and I'm so glad that you are here. And if you have any ways that you like to declutter your mind or your space, please share. I would love to hear it in the comments. But one of the things I think about um, decluttering our mind is we constantly are taking stuff in, whether somebody's selling us something, whether somebody is giving you feedback like I am, giving our wisdom, our nuggets, how to do this, how to make money, how to do that. Oh my God, it drives you crazy. That's why you got to stop it. Let life love you. Don't worry. I'm not trying to sell you anything at all. But your environment, let's start with that. Decluttering your mind, you also need to declutter your space. I find that if I look around and I see I have a lot of clutter in my area, my house is getting cluttered, things are everywhere, I know right away I'm stressing about something. I know right away I'm feeling overwhelmed about something. So declutter your space. It doesn't have to be your house. I'm not talking about decluttering everything. Find the space that you're sitting in, your office, your desk, your bathroom, wherever you are, your bedroom, wherever you're present, just declutter that space. Just clean it out. Remove the stuff that's blocking you because clutter sometimes blocks your creativity and it blocks insights. It blocks so many things. So I think decluttering your space is very important. I'm not talking about the house, do that bit by bit, but your space, okay? And it can also it creates fog. It creates stress. So I would definitely say one of the ways to declutter your mind is declutter your space. Can I get an amen? Does anybody else feel like that? Does anybody else feel cluttered and closed in and kind of grumpy even sometimes if your space is cluttered? I'm curious. I want to know. Tell me if that happens to you. Another thing I would say, this is a big one. Declutter what you consume on social media, on TV, on podcast. Let me tell you, one thing I know that I do personally, I consume a lot. I go to bed listening to a guided meditation. I wake up, I listen to a guided meditation. I'm in the process and I'm constantly trying to renew my thoughts, renew my mind. And I know that renewing your mind, renewing your thoughts, decluttering all the junk means I've got to put in stuff that I need to hear, that I want to hear, things that are uplifting, things that make me feel inspired and motivated. So, you know, every time we watch something on TV or watch something on social media or do the scroll, we're feeding ourselves, our mind, seeds. We're planting seeds. So make sure you're checking out, what kind of seeds am I planting? Am I planting good seeds? Am I planting junk seeds? Am I planting weeds? So just kind of check what you're consuming, and even on your timelines, you can mute people. You can mute. You can unfollow. You can still be friends or however it is. Sometimes you can just get them off of your timeline if you don't want to unfollow certain people, and that way you can monitor. It's getting hot in here. You can monitor what's popping up and what seeds are being planted unintentionally because it just pops up on your screen. So I would definitely say declutter what you are consuming. Replace your noise with intention, with healing content, with meditations. I mean, sometimes that's very calming for the spirit. So that's another way to declutter because a lot of times we're we're taking on other people's thoughts, other people's stuff, other people's shit, and that doesn't belong to you. And so you're taking all of that in, and you don't need to have that. Declutter that. Don't take on everybody else's stuff. Okay. And you got to know what's yours and what somebody else's. Just make sure, put your stuff, put your energy into the people that you love, not into the people that are distracting you and that that you're not aligned with. And one last thing I'm going to say, declutter old thoughts. Oof, that's a good one. Decluttering old thoughts and old beliefs. Ooh, that's a big one because I know, I'm sorry, it's hot up in here, but I know that um, decluttering thoughts and beliefs because we have been, this is something I say all the time, conditioned in so many ways, from TV, from media, from family, from society. And so you've got to realize that not all of your thoughts are your thoughts. A lot of times the negative thoughts that you may have, that's not your thoughts. That's something that somebody has said and planted in your mind, and you have to declutter. You're not smart. You make me sick, or you're stupid, or you don't belong. Even if somebody's look of just disgust is somebody else's clutter. So we have to learn to declutter and get rid of other people's clutter. Don't take it on. Um, what else would I say about that? I don't know. Just make sure you're more aware of what thoughts are coming in. And if they're not yours, write them down. Journal. Write down some of the thoughts that come in that are not yours, or if you're struggling with self-confidence or something, write down what it is. Write down the lies. I used to write down the lie, like, your voice doesn't matter. I would write that down, and the way I would declutter that is, my voice does matter. So I think that's about it. If anybody has anything, I would like to hear what you guys do to declutter your mind. You gotta declutter the mind. So let me just quickly go over it. One of the things is decluttering your space, not the whole house, just the space that you're in where you work. If it's in your kitchen, if you're cooking, declutter before you clean. And because a cluttered space is a cluttered mind. That really is true. And I know you know that. And then also declutter what you consume. Watch what you're taking in. Okay, there's a lot of junk. There's a lot of people selling stuff and just trying to get your attention. Be intentional about what you listen to. Declutter. You know what? I'm gonna give you a really quick tip what I do, because I don't like to really necessarily unsubscribe from some people, because I know eventually I will want to watch them again. So what I've been doing lately is I will unfollow, and I'm talking on YouTube. You can probably do this on Instagram too, but I will unsubscribe. I will unsubscribe from someone that I'm not really listening to much anymore. But so I don't forget about them, I will take a clip and I'll save it in a folder that I have saved on YouTube that is unfollowed but still want to keep, or something like that. I forget what I call it, but it's like unsubscribed but still want to touch bases with, just something like that, just so that and it helps too, even mentally. It makes you feel like you're not completely unsubscribing, because you don't want to forget about this channel. But that way, just psychologically, you feel like you're cleaning it up. But unsubscribe, but save one of their posts in a folder, a playlist, create a playlist and put it in there. That way, I think that helps you unsubscribe and clean up your follows and your subscribers and all of that. And last thing I would say, declutter old beliefs. Oh my God, that's a lifetime. If you're my age, especially, it's a lifetime of decluttering, but it's fun. Oh my God, it's so fun. It is fun finding the thoughts that are not yours, asking questions. Do not be afraid to ask life questions. Why? What does this mean? What? Why do I believe that? Ask these questions, but declutter your old beliefs. Write it down in your journals. And that's about it. That's all that I pretty much have. I'm getting on to, just so that you know, to practice. I'm using this platform while I can, because on Instagram, you have to have 1,000 followers to go live. I can't go live on Instagram like I used to. And I'm just now starting this. So thank you, YouTube, for letting me go live. I don't know how long I can do this, or if they're going to change their parameters, but you know what? Let life love you, YouTube. So, anybody have anything? Me, Gothic from Dallas, Texas. Am I the only viewer? I don't know. No, I think there's a few more. I have a ton of viewers. You were just one of the many. No, I really, honestly, I don't know. But I really am glad that you're here, because you know what? I'm on here to practice and to share my thoughts, and it's for that one person that it's meant for. So if you are the only one, just consider yourself being the lucky one. because that means this message is for you. Are you decluttering? Do you feel like you need to declutter anything in your mind? Do you feel like your mind is just overwhelmed or cluttered? Are you just are you intentional with your thoughts? So I don't know. Maybe as a matter of fact, can you tell me if there's other followers? Can you see other people on here? I don't know. But that's it. I think that's it, you guys. I'll be back on again. I'm loving going live. No, ma'am, just I think you can help me. I hope so. That's why I do this. I don't know your name, Turtle Gothic. That's kind of cool. This is why I started Let Life Love You, because this is really, I always say this, it was selfishly for me, because the things I post, the things I talk about are things that I need. And I know if I need them, so does somebody else. And so I'm going live because it gives me a chance to practice. It gives me a chance to communicate. It gives me a chance to share my thoughts. And hopefully, I have that one person, even if it's just you, on here that I can share with and help in some way. Okay? So, on that note, I'm about to go. But I do want to thank you for joining me. Okay, let me say this. Akashi. That's actually really pretty. I'm seeing all kinds of beautiful names here. We had Valentina, which is a beautiful name. Akashi, that's really pretty. I wonder if you know the meaning of that. That sounds like a name with a meaning. That sounds like an intentional name. So, True Gothic, yes, ma'am. So, I would love to know the meaning of your name. Um, I'm about to get off. I'm just trying to see if I get to read. I love that. Wow. I don't know. That did something to me. Sky. That goes a lot with life. Life, sky. To me, when I think of sky, I think of beauty. I think of fresh I think of fresh air, fresh breath. I just think of clarity. Oh, you feel bad I'm leaving. Oh, that's really sweet. That means you have to follow, subscribe, and like, and help me grow my channel. Um, Oh, if you do a huge, go ahead, go ahead. I don't even know how that works, but go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. I don't know how super chat works. I don't even know. I need to learn. That's why I'm on here. That's another lesson, you guys. Don't wait. You did? I don't, oh, you did? I don't even know if I'm set up for that. Top fans? I don't know what that means. I'm gonna have to look into that, because I'm just showing up and I want you to do the same. I could go on and on. I need to stop. But let me tell you this. I used to be a photographer. And I've had all kinds of little businesses and side hustles, they call them. But I would always be like, okay, I'm going to organize this. Let me get a website. Let me do some flyers. Let me go out and just try to drum up some business. Get my back office all set up. Set up for my photo shoots and be able to have a really clear communication with my clients. And this time around, I stopped doing photography because I needed to stop, declutter my mind. I thought I was doing that for photography to get my business together, but it ended up, no, I had to do it for me. And so this time around, I will do chat. Your chat don't have the super chat. I will get it enabled. I don't even know if I have enough people to do that. But this time around, I'm letting life lead me. Let life love you. Let life lead you. Not everybody can do this. I'm in a position in a time in my life where I can. So what I'm doing, I'm like, life, I'm just following my intuition, because I have learned through decluttering my mind, decluttering old thoughts, how to trust my own intuition. It's the best thing ever, best gift ever that life has given me. God has given me. Life, God, to me, I use them interchangeably. But I am now letting life lead me. I'm following the breadcrumbs. And this right here, me being here on here live, oh, thank you. And this is not my hair. I braid this myself. I braid this myself. This is what we call a protective hairstyle. So you'll see me on here again with my hair being short and not being braided up. But thank you. I love braids too. I do this myself. And I love doing this because I get to sit, watch some TV, some junk TV as I'm braiding my hair. It takes me like 2, 3 days to do it though. But I'm following the breadcrumbs. Do the same. Follow what your intuition is telling you. Good stuff. I'm not talking crazy stuff. Okay. I'm talking about when it's leading you to become the better version of yourself. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know where this is going to lead me. It's going to lead me maybe to a super chat because you just told me about super chats and now you need to look into it. I don't know how that works. But let me read this. I am Indian. I love it. But we love the braids. You know which is the most sold thing in 1825? No, I don't. But I think I know what you're going to say. And you know what? I'm so grateful that those times are gone. Um, yeah, I think the super chats get involved when you have enough. Yeah. So, if I have enough, which I'm sure I don't yet, but it'll come. If it's meant to be, it'll come. If I'm meant to have a few subscribers, that's fine. You even offering it, thank you. I send blessings to you because the fact that you even just thought of doing that really blesses my heart. So thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate you for that. So, but I do have to go. I'm going to be doing this more often because this is really fun. Actually, no, I'm not Catholic. I grew up Christian. No apologies for saying it before. Actually, I noticed the super chat was off. That's okay. That's okay. But no, I'm just, I grew up Christian. I grew up in a Baptist church, and then when I was in my early 20s, I became born again, evangelistic. I was out there trying to save the world, and it gave me purpose. It gave me meaning. But now I don't go to church anymore, but I still follow God, and it's in a more personal way because that was a season for me. I started going to church and I started going, okay, they're telling me the same things. I believe. There's nothing more. And it was just me. It was just some people want the community, need the community, but I was feeling boxed in. I didn't like when they would say, God doesn't do this or God doesn't work like that. I just feel like, how can a man say how God works and how he doesn't work? So I stepped away from the church, but not from God, and I became actually closer to God. God is directing my steps in a way that for me wasn't happening when I was in church, because it came to a point where became like a club, and it just was too boxed in. It was like they kept God in a box. But I grew up as a Christian, and I still love God. I love the Bible. The Bible's filled with wisdom, power. But yeah, so that's my answer. No, I'm not Catholic. But I tell you, when I was in the fifth grade, I used to want to go to Catholicism. I wanted to go to a Catholic school because I love the outfits. I was so scared of people. And I thought maybe if I go to a Catholic school, they'll be nicer. But I loved, anyway, I loved the I don't know. I wanted to go to Catholicism. I think that's what they called it. And you learn the Bible verses. I wanted to do that. I never got to. No apologies. Okay, what else is there? Have you studied other religions? No, but I'm open to talking about it. I am open now. I used to be like, if you're not this, if you don't believe this, if you don't talk like this, you're going to hell. I don't have anything to do with it. But God is so enormous. God is so expansive. I love to have conversations about God, about other people's religions. I'm open to learning. But right now, I love God. I just I'm learning to hear my inner voice, and that to me is like God speaking to me and God leading me. It's the best for me. Jesus shares your birthday with my mom. Sorry, I'm Hindu. Please don't apologize. I think Hindu's beautiful. I don't know if Hindu has anything with this. I like Buddhism. If so, I mean, I'm liking the meditations. That to me, that's like another form of prayer. When I started learning about meditation, and the Bible even tells you to meditate. I think the Bible has been so commercialized. I don't know, but if you just read it, It has so much wisdom, but it talks about meditations, talks about renewing the mind. It talks about, Jesus even said that you're going to be able to do greater things than I have done, but I think we limit. And it even says in the Bible, there's a form of godliness, but they deny the power thereof. So it's just so many scriptures that come to life now. That's why I said when I was in the church, it was a season, I needed that. But now those words are coming to life, and now I get to live them. I'm Muslim, but I have studied Christianity. There's so much similarities. I think men have created ways to separate us. When you get to the core of it, it's all about love. It's all about learning to just listen to that God voice inside of you. We called it the Holy Spirit. I think labels sometimes distract us from the message. We get so caught up in labels. What you call it? What's this called? What's that called? God is within you, that spirit. Everybody has it. That gut. You kind of what are you on? The gut instinct, the Holy Spirit, which is beautiful, But yeah, don't apologize. I think it's beautiful. It's our way to connect with God. It's our way to connect with God. I love Jesus too. Let me tell you, I love Jesus. I love Jesus. I love God. Let me tell you something. Jesus, I'm getting chills because Jesus has been so wonderful to me. Jesus, God, He's given me the grace to ask questions. God, what does this mean? What is the Bible? Who wrote the Bible? God, where are you? Who are you? God says, I'm right here. Look at the trees. That's the Bible. Look at the sky. That's the Bible. That's God. God created all of that. I believe God created all that. And it's even just creator. Put whatever name you want on it. It's beautiful. Whatever it is beautiful and it's inside of us. Yes. Oh, the core message is just to submit your will to one God. Oh, sorry, I gotta go. Me too. I won't be fighting with Islam or anybody else, but it's not the same. Yeah, I understand that. I truly understand. I know there's probably different principles. I just keep it simple. For me, I keep it simple. Where Christ said, just come to me as a child. Come to me as a little child. Yeah, I don't get into the politics of it anymore. At least that's not where I'm at yet. Yeah, so I do have to go. I appreciate you so much. I really do. Come back. Go look at some of my videos. I don't know if they'll be helpful for you or not, but um, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. And I send lots of love to you. Lots of love, lots of blessings. And I can't wait till we get to chat again. Oh, who hurt me? Oh, who hurt? I did get hurt. I was hurt. Um, People in my family, unfortunately. I mean, nothing physical or anything like that, but yeah, I was hurt. There was a lot of hurt, um, but it's all good. We learn from that. We learn from that. So, yeah. Anyway, God bless y'all. Let life love you. Let life love you. Let life lead you. And until next time, be sure to join me again. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. She says, or he, or Lome Pixel Motor says, I hope everything turns out good for you. I do too. Where are you from? Your accent is good. I just say that because it's so funny. People say I have an accent. I do not. Of course, I don't hear it because it's my voice. I'm from America. I'm from America. I was born in Seattle, Washington. My father was in the military. We moved around quite a bit. So, but here I am, but I'm in America. I'm American. And yeah, so thank you so much. Y'all, take care. Let life love you. Like, follow, subscribe. I just said that because everybody else says it. Bye. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you so much. Bye bye till next time.